Hello, everybody. Welcome to my brand new podcast called Emotion. This is chapter 1 of the life of Jada Ward, aka me. And you're tuning in through probably YouTube. That is the only platform that I currently have right now. But obviously more details to follow. That being said, welcome. I'm very happy, very excited for you all to be tuning in and listening. We're doing something a little different. We're not doing a video because I am trying to do a few different things. This is trial and error, so you guys bear with me. I know the first video was a little bit hard of hearing, and I think I figured that out in regards to, being able to fully hear a crisp sound of our voices. So that being said, I know that I just posted a week ago. Well, I'm saying a week ago because I'm recording this Friday, December 30th, and I'm releasing this the following week. So you're tuning in the following week. But that being said, I interviewed Trevor Topol, and he was absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved interviewing him and chatting with him. And we actually had a lot of talk behind the camera, meaning before the podcast even started and after the podcast started. I think that was the best part about it, was I got to learn a little bit more about him, which I wish everybody was able to kind of learn even more about him. I know I posted about an hour and a half video of him, and that's like with cut footage. So I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to make these. Still trying to test the waters, because obviously, for one, I have a lot to say, and I know many others have a lot to say, and trying to keep it short, sweet, and simple, but also very informative, and also educate some. But that being said, I know that with Trevor, I gave him 3 rules, and those rules I listed to him, and those apply to me as well. So I'm going to read them out loud to you all, but I'm going to read them in obviously first person. So number 1 is, at any point that I want to stop or take a break, I'm going to let myself do so. Reason being is I need to feel comfortable, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you the best possible podcast, uncut live stuff that I can. So that being said, again, at any point that I want to stop or take a break, I'm going to. Number 2, as the words flow, let the feelings show. So it is okay for me to feel the things that I'm feeling. It's okay not to bottle them up. It's okay to actually have them come out. So whether I'm angry, sad, frustrated, happy, whatever it is, I'm going to let them come out. And a big one is for me, as far as my emotions, I'm starting to cry a little bit more, so bear with me. And then number 3, remember that it is okay to talk about me. So I'm going to talk about myself. It's okay for me to, tell my story, tell it how I see it, how I know it is, and from my perspective, because that's the best way to give you guys this content. So a little bit of an introduction of me, I guess, is, like I said, my name is Jada Ward. I'm 24 years old. I grew up in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, basically my whole entire life. My mom's name is Terry. My dad's name is Eric. And I have a sister who is 9 years older than me, and her name is Alexis. And she married Matt, who is my brother-in-law, and they had the most adorable human being ever. Her name is Roslyn. And I actually found the love of my life through this all. Her name is Amanda, and we are getting married October 21st, 2023, so it's on my birthday. I'm very excited. It's the best freaking birthday present ever. I will say that she has been one of the most amazing blessings ever to come across, I think, our family. She's helped a lot as far as our family dynamic with, like, my parents and I, and my grandma and my sister, just everybody in general. But she's also made me whole. She's made me be the person I am today. She helped me realize that I am more than what I used to be, and I can't thank her enough for that. She's the best. So thank you, honey, for being you and just always, always, always believing. So thank you. And just to add, she was also the one that actually helped me restart this whole thing. She was the one that was like, no, I believe in you and you should believe in yourself, so you should do it. So it kind of goes into this question of like, why did I start eMotion? And the reason I started eMotion back in 2019 was I wanted to be able to share with people my story, my experiences, because growing up, I needed more than ever to hear somebody else's story just so I could connect or relate to them, or to feel like I wasn't alone, because I felt so alone. Even like when I would hear it from adults or my closest friends, sometimes I would still feel so alone in this huge world. Like I just felt so small and felt like nobody truly knew what I was going through or knew what I was feeling. So I thought maybe because I have gone through a few things, I could at least connect with somebody out there, not only to help myself, but to help another person. Because as much as I needed it, I knew so freaking deep somebody else needed it too. So that's why I started it. And I started it with, just posting things on Facebook and talking to schools. But that died down very quick because I was not true to my word. I also feel like at that time I was trying to almost get back at some of my childhood trauma, and not in the right way. Like I was trying to hurt people with what I was saying, when the reason why I started it was because I wanted to help myself and others. And when I stopped, it was a little shortly after I got my, I want to say, OWI. And that was a big kick in the butt. Obviously, I'll talk about a lot of different things on this podcast, that being one of them, just of literally one of the small things that happened in my life. Like, I just know that now I'm able to fully get into this. And that's why I believe so strongly to not only share my story, but other stories. Because I was like, you know what? I started this because I wanted to share my story. I wanted to connect with others, be a little selfish, But I was like, what if I'm able to have others share their stories too? Like, this could go further than what I thought. And what I mean further is there's only certain things that I can share because there's only certain things that I have gone through. And there's other things that people have gone through that somebody else might have gone through and need to hear it. And that's why I feel so strong-heartedly about it, because just like how I had Trevor come on, I'm not transgender, but there's somebody out there that is confused or needing help or wanting to understand or learn more, and he's able to do that. I couldn't do that. Shit, I couldn't tell you half of the stuff he said. Like, how everything was created and what he has to do and what he went through. Like, it's his story. So that's why I'm so happy that I'm now in the position where I'm at to do this and to have others share their story. So that's kind of like a summarization of why I started eMotion and now why I'm reintroducing it. I'm reintroducing it in a new light as far as like a podcast or a video cast is what I've been calling it. Because I think that the internet has blown up so much. That's the easiest way to spread word of mouth. So I thought it'd be best for not only myself, but the people that come on to my podcast is to share everything they want. And I can post it to where it can spread like wildfire and hopefully reach out to somebody or reach somebody that needs it. So, excuse me. So another thing, the spelling on eMotion is very unique. It's a lowercase e, capital M, O, T, semicolon for the I, O, N. And during that time, I'm just thinking about Jada, like my younger self. I know that's so weird to say, but I am 24. And I'm just thinking about everything that I went through and how I felt so small. And, I felt like I kept starting over and shrinking back down. Like I thought I was getting one step ahead, but then 2 steps backwards. Like I wasn't going anywhere. But when I started thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I ended up doing eMotion the way it was because I did feel so small. And we are at a starting point at some time in our life to where we do grow, though. And that's why you see the lowercase e transforming into the capital M, which is like the motion on moving forward, which obviously is literally in the word emotion. And during that time when you're obviously growing as a person or going through the motions, you're having a lot of emotions, literally. So you're feeling all these things, but you're still growing as a person. You're still experiencing things that you never experienced before. But again, you are still growing in the process. And obviously, going to the semicolon, the reason why I use the semicolon for the I is because Project Semicolon, that's very close and dear to my heart because of myself and some friends, and I know my dad experienced quite a few of suicides in his life, and that's a big one as far as for the Project Semicolon. So if you don't know what that means, is Project Semicolon or the semicolon is for an and, meaning you didn't stop, you survived, and you're still keeping on going. And to me, why that holds so close to my heart is because I actually have a tattoo on my side that says continue with a semicolon. And I was 16 when I got that at the time. And it was when I was in a really, really bad spot, especially with my parents. And I wanted so freaking badly to not be here anymore. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to have a little reminder, just have for every day. Just so that way, at least I can look in the mirror and maybe see that instead of see everything else that I was seeing. So that's what emotion stands for. And the reason why I still kept that logo or that, I don't know, saying is because that holds so close to my heart because of also where I was at in 2019. And it has a very deep meaning, and so many people can transform that into however they want or interpret it however they want. And I think that is so special. And that's what this podcast means to me. The podcast is for people to come on here, share their story, feel the emotions, feel the emotion that they are feeling in the moment, and explain things that they were feeling, to maybe have an aha moment, or to simply just get it out there because they know that what they went through wasn't just for nothing. Like, we don't go through these things just for nothing. There's a reason behind it, and sometimes we need to be reminded of that reason or reminded of where we were to kind of put ourselves at level ground or to humble ourselves. So that truly is, the biggest part is this podcast means so much to me, and I'm not making any money. I'm not giving people money. People are coming on here willingly because they want to share their story. It's not sponsored. It's literally not even profitable. Like, it's a non-profit, I guess, but I'm not making any profit. This truthfully is something that I don't need to make money off of because I just want to help people out there. And I know that what I went through, like I said, isn't just to be tossed to the side. It's to help somebody and to let them know that, hey, if you need something, maybe you should reach out. Or, hey, if you have a question, ask the question. Like, this podcast is for so much more than just the LGBTQ community as well. Because I've had a lot of questions about that on, is this just for the LGBTQ community? And I'm like, no. Like, just because I had Trevor as the first person doesn't mean it's LGBTQ driven. Yes, I am a lesbian, but that doesn't mean that's what this is all about. So it just makes me chuckle, because the next person I'm having come on, I'm just going to lay it out there, is Kelsey Gigi. My God. You could say Gigi, Gigi, Guy. My God, you could say all of them. And I know she's probably laughing at this. I love you, Kelsey. She's actually a very, very, very close friend to my sisters. And she was the person that actually helped me have my breakthrough. And what I mean by my breakthrough is I had a breakthrough to where I'm starting to feel my emotions. Like how I said in the beginning of this recording, I am starting to feel more. And the reason for that was because of Kelsey, Abby, and my sister Nicole. We were literally sitting in a room, and I just had a breakthrough. And this was all at the Prove It company event, Epic, which truly I think changed my life, and I'm so happy about that I was able to go. So, but that, like I said, going back to what this podcast means to me is, it means more to me now than I think I would have thought. And the reason being is we are able to help people out there. And I'm very excited to have an open door to where people can comment, share, message, email, text, whatever it is, however you want to communicate. My door is always open. And especially for those, like I said, that I have questions or just want to say thank you, or whatever it is, or even share below what your story is or what you would want to share. So that being said, I want to give you guys an expectation of what this podcast consists of. This is kind of like a beginning of the episode or chapter 1 of Emotion of Life of Jada Ward. So what to expect is many interviews, meaning with myself and with other people as well. And I'm talking from literally everybody. I have a few people that are already lined up that I'm scheduling currently. And it's just amazing how many people are so willing to just share their story and literally are so open to do so. That being said, I'm going to be trying to do every other as much as I can. It's hard working around some people's schedules, my schedule. Obviously, I'm still working full time and I work very strange hours. So it's going to be kind of like 1 week is going to be my story. The next week is going to be somebody else's. 1 week is mine. The next week is somebody else's. But if that's not how it goes, that is fine. Okay? And I got to tell myself, that is fine. So obviously, if there's maybe a couple weeks in a row where it's just my story, it's maybe because I couldn't find somebody that was able to get in, or we weren't able to collab at the right time, or I got busy, or something happened. Life happens, okay? So currently, though, right now, like I said, I'm working full time and planning a wedding, and I'm working with Prove It, and I'm doing my podcast, obviously. So this is going to be almost like a journal in a sense, to where I could be talking about something, maybe what's currently happening, or it's going to be something I have experienced. More than likely, I think the first quite a few episodes, I should say, not the first, but quite a few episodes are going to be about my experiences and something that I want to share. And I don't know how long these are going to last. I don't know timing wise, but interviews could go longer. These ones could be shorter. I'm not going to give you a timeline because guess what? As the words flow, let the feelings show. And typically when that happens, it could go anywhere. But I am also trying to think like of a tradition that I want to start, like at the end of every broadcast or podcast, interview, even with myself. So like, if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Whether it's like saying a quote and saying how I feel, or maybe sharing something funny. I don't know. Obviously, this is going to be content that might be a little triggering, or I don't want to say sad. I mean, it can be, but that's what this is about. Like experiencing the things that we've went through and where we're at now, like overcoming them. And I want to make that very clear is like, it's going to be about what we went through to get to where we are now. So I want to make sure I'm stating that out there. Obviously, there might be some that are still going through things, that are still going through the hurdles or going through the motions, which is okay. And that's just what it's about. It's just about sharing everything and anything in the moment and what you're feeling and what you're going through. So again, it could be anything. Like I said, I don't know if you want it to be something happy at the end or maybe just a little bit more deep, but let me know what would be a good tradition for the end. So thank you again for always listening and always supporting me. And please don't ever forget that your story is just as important as the next person's. The big thing or slogan of emotion is lift and you will be lifted. So lift others and you shall be lifted yourself. I'll talk to you guys in the next chapter. Love ya.